Good evening. Good evening, boys and girls. Hello, I'm back. I had dinner and I'm back to continue with what we were working on, so which was the statistics, because there are some basic statistics that I want to have in the game generated by the server that today we are not generating at all, right? And yeah, so we identified and we added to this page all the stuff that we do today for server reporting and data mining, and some is provided by the web console, and these are basically a static view on the database, extracting data from there, and then we watch that the dynamic part, which is more related to the report file, is a report.xml that is written in the main server directory. Then we checked what it contains. We checked also another one, which is a test log, which is anyway reporting player data. And we checked the static view generated by the RRD tool, which is something else that we are using to generate graphs similar to these ones. And then we checked some stuff that is on my plane. Plus, we have some statistics on guilds that are on the main website, which are generated with a simple query to the database as well. So maybe these ones can go in the first category of static database view statistics. Hello, Samburi, welcome. So we also have a kind of a wish list, which are all the stuff that potentially we can add on top, but it's not very important for now. So for now we want to reach the minimum, which is to have the server logging back in place. Okay, so what I did, I imported the two files. And now in Unreal, but obviously they are using the old code, so they are not functional as of now, but we need to do some porting and changes for sure to make them operational. And this is what we're gonna do. I don't know how much time is needed, but I think it's not too much. I think it's something that we can do relatively quick. Let's see. So the two new files are server status H and server status CPP. First thing we want to do, we want to change this. As at the moment our license is no more GPL. And we want to delete all the crystal space includes for sure, which are not needed anymore. Maybe we can change this to pragma ones and remove the endif. And then we can check what we were doing. There was a bit of a WinSock at that time and Unisock, because this is stuff that was done. Yeah, but we don't need any of that anymore. Definitely these two also are useless. And then we have our server status class, which will remain, I would say, a plain shift only class. I don't think we need to make it a U object and a real object. Okay. And yeah, so the initialize is something that was specific for the old engine. So I think we don't need it, because I think this initialize is actually not available here. Here we have two classes. We have the server status run event, and we have the server status. Server status is basically a static class that is holding all the information. And yes, like the current count, the birth count, death count, player death, sold item, sold value. These are the main variables that we want to keep. We may enhance it in the future. I think server status is really not the best name. The best would be to have something like server reporter or server reporting, but it's called server status. So yeah, I think the initialize is this one, is reading the configuration files. Now, in our case, I'm thinking if we should we should put these ones in a separate configuration file, or if we should put them all together. I think we should put them all together. The way we do configuration files at the moment is, I think we have something in our I don't remember if it's game state or game instance, but or game mode, yeah. In game mode, we have these ones for sure, which are all the configs. Now, let me remember if those configs, like for example, repopulate items, let me just check if they all go in the same file. Yes, they do. So in theory, we can just add a new script down here with the other variables, which I think is very nice. Yes, so this is what we're gonna do. Now the question is, must this class be a U object to... I think it must be, huh? If we don't make it a U object, it will not manage the config files. Which is a bit annoying, but we can do it. Like we did, for example, on the SQL. Yes. You see? So this is the way we did it. So I think we need to do the same. We need to take our server status, make it a U class, derived from U object. We need to change the class name, unfortunately. At this point, I mean, if we change the class name, I think we can also change from status to reporter. Is that not? Server status is, well, I don't know, we can also leave it status. But yeah, we need to change everywhere. I think I can do a global replace from server status to U server status. We change them all here, and we change them all here. We will also have to change it in a number of other places, but for now it's fine. And yes, let me make my face smaller. And we have to go in our cheat sheet where we have all the conversions from the old code to the new code. So for example, we have the CS6, and we said the CS6 can be changed to float. Okay. Yeah, because CS6 becomes a float, which is the report rate. CS string everywhere becomes an F string. And I think in the definition, I mean, is pretty much this. Yeah, I need to remove this one. And then under server status, I will do the same. So I'm changing this to float, and let me do a global replace of CS string to F string. There are 12, very nice. And then we want, oh, by the way, I think that the Mac finished, incredibly enough. The Mac Mini, after, I don't know how many, but 20 something hours, completed the build. So we also can have a Mac release. Yay! Completed the build. Incredible. I had to do some manual manipulations because unfortunately this script is not really working as expected. I tried to submit the bug to Epic Games, but at the moment I didn't check it yet, so I don't know. But I have a workaround, so I did the workaround. So basically we will need to, I mean, to continue the Mac build, we will have to execute some operations. I don't know if I want to do them in parallel while I'm working on the other stuff, because some of those will be very slow. But yes, basically this one is completed, which is insane. This step is completed. Now we are at this step, which is finalize the install. And we have some stuff to copy. And other stuff to copy. And then I have to code sign. Unfortunately, the code sign, I have to do it directly on the Mac Mini, so I will have to move. So maybe I'm not doing it now. After that, I think I can just package and release. So yeah, I think we are good. I mean, the Mac Mini probably will build a good package. We'll create a final package. Okay, so here in the initialize, what we were doing, we were basically reading the config file and reading this stuff like status report, status rate, log file. All of this is done automatically now. So I think that the only thing we need to do is to change these variables and make them properties, right? So this stuff should become properties. And also I need this. I never understood this one, by the way. And then we need to add the actual. But if it's static, will it work anyway? I hope so. That I'm not that sure, because actually all these classes are well, anyway, I can initialize it at the beginning. It's not a problem, but I think it's a good point to see if the uProperty config can be also static information. So one will be this one for sure. So the report rate. Another one will be the report file, right? These are the two main ones. and report rate and log file, and then we need the actual report, yes or no. That one was not here because it was done in a different way, but we can have static boolean report enabled, right? And this one also will be through the config, and this one is the reporter, no, should the reporter be active or not, right? Okay, so with that said, I think we have basically everything, and so this is not needed because this will be read directly from the config file, and so so the only thing we need to do, we need to check if is the reporter enabled, and if it's enabled, if it's not enabled, we just return true. If is enabled, we schedule the next run, right? And scheduling the next run, what should it do? Scheduling the next run in the previous code was doing server get event manager push. Yes, was pushing the first. Okay, for us this become, I think, event manager push. The problem is that I cannot generate a new event like that. I need to really create a new object. So maybe what we can do, I think I can take any other. Yes. No. Yes. There is a good example. Yeah, so a minute. So what we need to do, we need to generate a new UPS run event, which will be the new name of the event, and we will pass in the latex in seconds. Okay, so actually what we have in the reporter, I think we can just put it in seconds. I don't know why it was in milliseconds. Let's put it just in seconds. It's much better. So we will do report rate, and target we don't have, and then we just push the event. Okay, so basically this is what it will be looking like in the new code. So it's just scheduling the next run of this class, right? And this class is, yes, it's something that we need to change as well. So we need to change that class. Is declared this way? Why is declared here? It's a bit annoying. Let's move it here. So also this class needs to become an Unreal Engine. Let's put a bit of music. I feel a bit alone here. Hello, Tony. Music. Bomberman. Always a good choice. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna change this class. I can do global substitution because anyway, let's do current document, and then we will do it here as well. Okay, and this one will become, it needs to inherit from UPS game event. Now, CS tick we said that is a float, which to me is fine. Trigger is trigger. Report client. Report client, what is it? Report client? Why we need a client? Because this one is called for every... Okay. I think I understand. I think that this function is called for each... For each client you need to log. Yeah. Okay. So basically write to XML. No, it's not writing to XML. It's extracting an XML. And then the actual writing is done in another place. Yeah. So returns an XML representing the player data, and this one is returning an XML representing the NPC data. And yeah, so we need, so PS client, so client must become a APS character, and this one as well. And this client status logger, I have no idea what it is, but I think it's another class, right? Yeah, we have seen it before. The client status logger is another class. Do we really need it? Or can we skip it somehow? Client logger. What is he doing with this client logger? Client logger. Trying to understand what he's doing. Log client info. Log this client info with the client logger. I don't know. We can check the old code and see what the hell it's doing. Client logger. Okay. Is empty? No, I don't understand. So it's just creating... What? Ah, no, it's this one, sorry. Status root node, status node. At the moment, I don't really need it. I mean, I understand. This is the one that is logging the full player name, but the full player information. But I don't think we are really interested into this. I don't understand. I don't understand. I don't understand. Log client info. Okay. Log client info. Client. Ba. Node add container node client. Status root node. Log basic info. Blah 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 blah. Log connection info. But you know why? So it's basically creating an XML with the player information in it. The question is then writing it somewhere or not? Because it doesn't look like he's writing it anywhere, at least not here. Maybe he's doing it later on though, huh? Oh. Ah yes, he's doing it here. Log file test. Doc. Yes. Okay. This thing is a bit weird, but it's okay. I think this one we will just say this was writing to separate file the user detail info. We don't need it at the moment, okay? So we don't really need it. So we just skip it. This becomes a PS character. This client status logger, I think we can remove it from now. It's not really interesting to us. And oh, in case you are wondering, oh, okay. Yes, and also a bit, oh, okay. Now, get character data. I think get character data was nothing else than a redirection. So I think that our current becomes our character. So I don't think we even need this. I think we can just call this one like this and just do a check that it is not empty, and then we are fine. Because we just want to work with a valid client. I think we are getting... Okay. Why is using current if we... Fuck. Okay, I don't know. It's converting it between the two multiple times, but if it's using current, I'm fine using current. So also this one needs to become a U class. Maybe let me take just for just to copy something that works, right? Okay. Huh? Really? Ah, this is me. Fuck. Ah, stupid me. Okay, sorry. I was copying the one. I was copying the one that I was writing right now. Ah. So that's not a good example because it's the one that I'm making now. But this one is a good example. Even if this one is not derived from... No. I want one which is derived from UPS game event, okay? So I want something which is derived from UPS game event. Yeah, for example, this one, exactly. So this one we can copy kind of safely, knowing that we are doing exactly the same thing that this guy is doing, and which at the end is only this, but I just wanted to be sure that if the POS game event is requiring, we have this set parameter, we have the trigger, and we have the, I think the only real one is the trigger, which we have already. We may use the set parameters actually, but you know that for this one we basically don't have any parameters. So I think we are fine. I think we are kind of good. So where are we here? We are under server, huh? Okay. Economy manager is not there yet, but I think economy manager will follow very shortly. PS config doesn't exist anymore, right? We have I think we have a PS global. No, we have a PS const. But we don't have a PS config anymore. Now this one will not be used anymore, I guess, right? Because we are only using, let me check, but if I remember right, we only have, no, let me go to the, wait. Yes, like this one, right? The only thing we need to do is to set it as valid. But the actual interval, I think we can set it all or as a parameter, but we cannot do it anymore this way, right? So I think we can have a setup parameter, which is just simply doing that. Because anyway, we need to know the delay. And then the trigger will schedule the next event. Now, the other thing that we need the other thing we need to do is core minimal enough? I think core minimal should be enough. But then we need the generated, huh? If we don't put the generated, nothing's gonna work. So, and then we need PS Unreal, right? We need PS Unreal in the CPP, huh? Ba-bam, ba-da-bam. Okay, so like this should be a bit better. It's still so now this creation, I think to us doesn't make any sense, right? No, wait. I don't think we are going. We are doing any of this, if I remember right, but I'm not 100% sure. No, but wait. Now you see that, for example, for the quit event, we don't do anything of that. Now I think that constructor, we don't need another constructor, okay? Because we are just setting the parameter. We are just setting the parameter with set parameters, so we don't need another constructor. So this constructor, I think that to us is totally useless. The only thing is the name of the UPS game event. Okay, let me comment it out for now, but I think we don't need this. It would be nice to have a name which is actually meaningful, but okay, now he's very upset about everything, but I think he will like it more when we recompile and we generate this, okay? Because the problem is that at the moment, okay, let's try to recompile like this, see what happens. So basically now what we will have to do, if this and when this will work, right? We need to put in our config file. In our server config file, we need another branch here, similar to this, and the other branch will say server status, right? And inside of this, we will have our variable. So report rate, report file, and report enable, right? So report enable will be true. Report rate in seconds, I don't know, we can say 10 seconds for now, and then we will decide. And report file will be the name of the file that we want to report on, and this will be report XML, right? So it will be something like that. We cannot do it with the static. That's annoying. We cannot do a uProperty config on a static class, huh? We can make it a manager. We can upgrade it to manager. Fuck, cannot type. You can make static const variables. The problem of the new wiki is that you never find the problem of the new wiki is that you never find the old stuff. Never. Ah, it's this one. I found it! No, but this is not what I meant. I mean, I want to know if I make a U property. I want a U property static. What? I think it's not, the U property is not reading the static clause for some reason. A boa constrictor in game? Why? No, it's not. It doesn't care about the static. I mean, it doesn't want the static. There is a problem though, but we can fix it. I mean, we can find a way. But this means that I have to make this class a manager or not. Yes, I have to, because otherwise I will never be able to read those files. Yeah, I think because those config files are read when the class is instantiated. But it's okay. You know what? We can change it to a report manager and that's it. Because now it's building. It's okay. I can make it a real manager like all the others. Anyways, the report manager, so I think it makes sense that we can interact with it. And so at the... No. I had the editor open. No. Do it again. So I think what we can do, we can just create... And how many editor I have open? 1 million. A constrictor, huh? A constrictor. No. I said a constructor. The best will probably be also to change the name of the class somehow, but I leave it like this until we fully port so that I remember, you know, that until I remember that we did it this way. It's okay. I mean, it's not the best, but it's fine. So basically we need to make this one, which I think anyway was already here. I think if I search server status. No, because in theory this guy. No, that's kind of strange though. You see? There was the initialization anyway. There was the initialization anyway, so I think, yeah, we can do the same. So here, I don't know why I don't have it here, but in reality it was there. It was there, it was there, it was there. So it's basically here. Now, here we will have to do something different than this, okay? So we will have to do report manager. Right? And then we will do a report manager initialize, I guess. This one cannot fail, so you know what? I think all of this is pretty much useless. We will just do this. No, no, no. What is it? Service status. Okay. Pa, pa, pa. Pa, pa, pa.
She was a lot like you, maybe not quite as heavy. Now little Carolyn is in you too. One day they woke me up, so I could live forever. It's such a shame the same will never happen to you. You got
So who is testing the alpha right now? Are you on the alpha or not?
what I'm counting on. I'll let you get right to
Uh-oh. It seems that the alpha just crashed. Because it's reloading.
Goodbye, my only friend.
You broke it, huh?
Oh, did you think I meant you? That would be funny
It's okay.
if it weren't so
In the
sad.
same way or in a different way?
Well, you had been replaced. I don't need anyone now. When I delete you, maybe
What?
I'll stop feeling so bad. Go make some new disaster.
Ah, yes, because it's not called like that.
Counting on
It's not called like that.
you're someone else's problem.
Stupid me. It's called server status anyway. The class is called like this. So it's called like this. We cannot. Well, we can refactor it, but too lazy. Too lazy. PS guild info.h is not there. Yes, it's there. This one is not needed. Now here we still have a bit of a mess, huh? Because this is still not working as expected, but I think we have it in our cheat sheet. What do we call it? Report file. Yeah, this is just an iterator on all the connected clients. I think for this part we can use the same that we did on user manager for the management of the use of the who. Identification spell. Identification spell. So the total number of players, we can get it from here. Use server status count. What is this thing? Anyway, total players we can get like this. So this this format really becomes printf, right? Ave Maria. Ora pro nobis. Blah, 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 blah. Yes, now all this stuff we will have to query now, not statically anymore, but it's okay. So basically all of this becomes like report manager count, assuming that this is available. Hello, Venolan. The music is a bit surprising, huh? I like the surprise. I like. Singing is very rare. Well, actually, it's not very rare, but sometimes. I don't understand exactly what we are using this economy manager here. I think the economy manager is used for the total money in and total money out. Loot value, selling value, pickups value. Loot, selling, pickup. Pickup I don't know, huh? But anyway. Buying value, drop value. So basically we were going through the economy manager to understand. But this one at the moment is bugged. I mean, it's not gonna work because the economy manager is fake. We did import it. The economy manager is one of the pieces that we miss. Now here what it's doing is reporting all the players one by one. And he's reporting all the NPC one by one. I don't really know if we need this. I mean, we may need it in the future, but it's not too hard to do in the sense that it is nothing else than whatever. Whenever any broadcast that we do, yeah, any of this, we just take any function which is doing this cycle and basically we have it with the only with the only exception that in reality this guy is trying to get this guy is trying to get let me see if he's trying to get client. I mean, let me see, huh? He's trying to get account information or character information. Because, for example, security is... yeah, but I think we set it also on the character anyway. Yeah, it's character information. It's character information. So actually what we need to do, we need to extract players. I mean characters and not accounts. So it's a bit different than this cycle. It's a bit different, huh? It's not a player controller iterator, it's a player character iterator. So I think if we go, just because I love copy paste, if we go to any PS character function, I'm here already? Oh, okay. I'm here already. If you go to any PS character function where we have the iterator, come on. We are always iterating on. We are iterating on that because I understand. Because if we iterate on pawn, I think we do a lot more work. Yeah. Yeah. It's a good idea. No, it's good. It's good. I think. I think it's good. So it's exactly this. No, it's exactly this. So I got confused for a second. But actually, it's exactly this. Is exactly this. Assuming that the world is already up, okay? Because if the world is not up, we cannot do it. So we need to have a check, maybe here at the beginning. What? Anyway, so the world must be up and running. So if the spawn manager is not, can we do another check? Can we do a check if the world is ready? If the world is ready, because actually I think we are setting the world ready when we run here. I think we can read the entity manager ready. If the entity manager is ready, I think we can consider that we are at a good point in the loading of the server, and so we can actually start logging. So if I can do entity manager is ready. So if the entity manager is not ready, we just schedule the next run and that's it. Right? Bam, bam. So I think we can do that. Why is complaining about this one? That is not accessible. fpat game dir is not accessible. Why is saying this? Report file is undefined. Ah, because here I'm inside the event. And no, the event needs to know, huh? The event needs to know. So the event needs to be initialized. Wait. Yeah, we need a report file for sure. Otherwise, well, we could read it from the other guy. Ah, yes, we can read it from the other guy. Forget it. Yeah, we can read it from the other guy. Okay. It's okay. We can read it from there. And so what I was saying is that here we are rotating on all the characters. The only point is that we need to find the pawn, but we need to be sure that the pawn is ready, because this loop, I think, is pretty stupid. We need to do also an if pawn, because if the pawn is not ready or is not available, this thing will crash so bad, right? And then inside of that, we do the report client, right? And in the same way, we should do it on the NPC, because you know what? I think this one, you fix me, we also loop on NPC. Not needed for now. So this part, I really don't need it for now. I think it's kind of useless. Okay. So I don't want to convert something that anyway we're not gonna use. Venalan, did you try the new alpha? It's up and running. Looks like. Looks like it's up and running. Did you try it? You should. So this one is spawn for sure. Client logger, we don't need it. And report string is what? Is that f string up there? Okay. You're still complaining about this. But this one I got it from here. Very strange though, huh? I think for some reason it should be this and not that. So maybe we can change it on the wiki. Let me check how we did it for the phonic list at the end. But it's okay. Let's not waste time on that. If you're messaging me on Discord, consider that when I'm streaming, there is a kind of a streaming mode, and so I cannot see your messages. Or anyway, it's a bit harder for me to see your messages. Okay, so apart from that, so we are trying to convert this piece of code, okay, and bring it to a point where it's actually working. So here we have a log file. So we are opening a log file, but this time we are opening a log file for writing. But is it trying to append to this file? Because I don't think so. I think that this string is yeah, I think that this file is rewritten every time, so is overridden every time. So I don't know why it was opening the file. It's kind of weird. It's kind of weird. Anyway, so we only need to write down this. We only need to write down this, and that's it. We don't have to do anything else. So we have our string, and we just need to write to a file. Now, are we writing to a file with Unreal already anywhere else in our code? I don't think so. I think we never did it. I think we never did it. I don't know if we have predefined functions for it or because for sure we are reading files, but write an f string to a file. This is exactly what we need. I think this one is what we need. Cormish what? I mean, Cormish is the name of the class. No, it's the name of the H. Is the H corresponding to the... So can I do Cormish write file or what? No. Cormish. Yeah, it's in Cormish, but you know what?
Work. Wait. Follow me.
Follow me.
Follow you. Sorry. Stop it.
You. What is Cormish?
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Ah, he's here. But save string to file is not here anymore. He is not here anymore. We are fucked. We are fucked. Ah, it's under file helper now. Ah. They moved it, huh? They moved it. So this thing is taking the string itself, right? And the string itself for us is report string. Then it's taking what? It's taking the file name in the, I mean, as a string as well, which for us will be report manager, report file, plus, no, it's what I did here. It's exactly what I did there. And then all the rest is default stuff, so I think we can just do this. I mean, if we can just do this, it's beautiful. This guy's annoying, huh? What do you want? You want like this? Yeah, he wants like this. Okay. Now this one is the other. You know what I'm confused about? Is that this guy is using a report string anyway, but then he's writing to two different files, and this thing makes me crazy. So there are actually two files. One is going to test log, right? The other one is going to report file. What I'm very confused is that on this one is writing report string, okay, which is coming from this. On the other one, I don't understand what he's putting in. On the other one, doc create root node, client logger, root node. So he's only using this, right? He's only the client status logger. I don't know why he put it at the end. It is so confusing. But basically this piece, right? This piece here is inside of this. And we can just say that for now, we can say that for now, we don't need it. Okay, so this part we're just gonna skip. Can I do this? I think I can. Okay, so this schedule next run is the one that is actually then doing the job, right? Okay, so let me just understand how far we are from I think escape XML, we have it in string utils, if I remember right. Yes, We have it in string utils. Now, why all this stuff is here and is not in the class? Mob death count, mob build count, player death count. Why we have this here again? I don't understand what is this. What is that stuff? Why is there? Why is even there? Why? So none of this will be static, okay? So we basically change this class to be a normal manager and not anymore a static class. Which I think is fine. It's probably even better. Hello, Funner22, welcome. If this is open source project correct, in my understanding someone can manipulate the code and improve any system or bug came across, more like a project now. We actually have two pieces of plane shift. I mean, we have two versions of plane shift. If you go in the main website and says under source code, there is this kind of disclaimer, right, which says in this page you find the source code of the current version of plane shift, which is open source. The new version, which is made with Unreal Engine, does not have sources available to download, I would say, at the moment. Okay, so in the sense that the previous game, or the game made with another engine, was actually open source and it was under GPL, and you can find all the sources here in this repository, and you can find all the sources here under code, but this is done with another engine, right, which was the previous engine. Now we took all of this code, and most of this code is still the same in Unreal or similar in Unreal, and we changed it, right? So Unreal does not allow GPL because GPL is not compatible with the licensing model, but allows other kind of open source license. At the moment I didn't fully set my mind on what I want to do with the open source license, so at the moment it's closed source. But let's say that if someone wants to help, right, they can help. So there are people that have access to our source at the moment, and some of the people are part of the development team. Others are not really part of the development team, but have been contributing quite some stuff up to the point that they became trusted. And when they become trusted, then yes, they can access also the source code. But yeah, so this is basically how we are running at the moment. I don't know if that answered your question. So this append format is not good because it's not recognized by So append format is basically becoming becoming an append on that particular string of a printf, right? That is what it's becoming. Okay. So what I'm doing now is just to convert the old code to the new code, because this particular class, which is the status reporter, has never been ported, and so I'm porting it right now. Trying to see if we can now all of this. I mean, it's not really required, but why is using, I don't know, sometimes he's using current, sometimes he's using CHR. I think probably the difference was that one was the client. Yeah, I know why. Because in the old code, certain stuff was on the gem object, and some stuff was actually on the character. So I think that some of these functions will not exist. Yes, like for example these ones, but on this one we can just change it to get actor location and to X, Y, and Z. Oops. Did I answer your question, Fanner? Or do you have any other questions? Okay, so the sector, we can get it just by cache manager. No, we can get it just, wait, I think we can just get it by get sector actually. Yeah, I can just do it with get sector. Now get sector is returning, I think, the actual sector. So I think I can do get sector dot name, and I think it's good enough, assuming that I can access it. Now everything that is a string, which is basically everything here, must be dereferenced. So the guild name, the guild title. Why that code is doing this? Okay, the guild title, security level no, kills dead no, suicide no, actor location no, and no, and the sector name yes. Now we have a problem with the guild level because it became this. Okay. It became a struct. I think we need to test what, the name or something. Let me change this. I think get guild is already returning. Yeah, an empty guild if you are not in a guild, so I think that would be, I think that's okay. Then we have the level title. Okay, I think we are getting closer. I think we are getting closer to see this thing actually work. I mean work, compile, because between work and compile is a bit far away. Between work and compile, there is still some stuff, but you know, I think we're not too far. We're not too far. So all of that kills, that suicide, get location. So this one is the same. So this is get actor location X, get actor location Y, and get actor location Z. This is what it is. And then here we go again with a string utils escape sector name. So here we do like we did before, exactly the same. Get sector dot name. Okay. I mean, at the end was not a lot of code, but having, I mean, the fact that we needed to convert it was. Yes, he answered your question. Okay, I'm not sure if I heard of the game or not. It's EverQuest, but there is a side of EverQuest called Q Emulator, which allows people to run their own server, which is C++ file and file needed. Okay, yeah, I know EverQuest. I don't remember if I played it, but probably not. But I remember it. And yes, people can run their own server. Okay. With yes. I mean, in theory, you can run the server of our old game at the moment, because the sources are available, and so you can run it. Uh-oh. I think we didn't close some parentheses or something. The errors are very weird, so when the errors are so weird, it means that we didn't close some stuff. There may be a missing parenthesis or something, because it's giving errors in other classes, and it is usually what doesn't happen unless you messed up. By the way, append is returning the string, so you need to reassign it. I don't know if I did any mistakes, but looks like he's complaining a bit. So if you want to run the old game, you can, and you can make your own server. Let's say that the server itself is, I mean, is useful, but obviously what it makes a difference is all the data that is inside. So okay, there is a missing comma. You see that it was missing a semicolon, and the compiler was not telling me about it at all. So it was giving a million other errors, but not this one. And yeah, it was kind of confusing. You're currently using QEmulator as a project, learning how to run your own server and learning how to improve the code. Okay. Sure. I mean, if you want to help, I mean, we need help. Because this project is massive and is, you know, it's not very easy to do with the resources that we have, so if you want to help, you're more than welcome. There's a lot of stuff to do in every department, but in engine, there is definitely stuff to do, and I could give you something to do right now. But you know, coding is really related to... No, wait a second. We made this class a U class. Yeah, so the only way is to do new object, huh? I cannot do new the other way, right? Yes. So if you want to help, I can give you stuff to do right now. At the beginning, there will be tasks that are like outside of our project, but meaning that you don't need a whole code base, but there will be stuff that you can make that then we can integrate, right? And oh, succeeded! Very nice, succeeded. The problem is that, you know, the code that you develop is very dependent on the libraries, or anyway the environment that you are using. So if you are developing, for example, for the old plane shift, which is a completely different platform, then coming to this one will be very different. So I'd say if you are developing for EverQuest, will be very different to develop in PlaneShift, because we are using Unreal Engine, and unless I don't think EverQuest is using Unreal Engine, but because it's too old. But so yeah, I think if you want to help PlaneShift, if you like the project, maybe you can stick around a bit, see what we do, you know. But if you like the project, I think you should immediately try to learn Unreal Engine, which, by the way, is a great engine. I tell you, it's a great engine. Sometimes makes you a bit mad, but like the red trees that we were getting the other day, you know, that we couldn't figure out why, but okay, so basically what should happen now, if this thing compiled properly, is that we have now a new manager, which is our server reporter, or report manager. And this report manager is capable already of reporting stuff and printing into a file. Now, I want to see what happens when I think all these breakpoints I can remove. These are the breakpoints that we're using to... Okay, here we are with our report manager. Nice. So let me see if he's creating a class properly. Yes, it seems he's doing it. Yes, the report XML is a file. He has 10 seconds of report rate. Okay. He's doing initialize. So he already took the values, right? Because as you can see, he has 10 seconds and report XML, which is what we have in our config file, right? So it already read those values automatically, which is very nice. And now we are going to initialize it. And in the initialization, what this guy is doing is to wait. Is to schedule the next event in 10 seconds, right? I think it will arrive here. It will see that the entity manager is not ready. Ouch. Something bad happened. I put a breakpoint. Why didn't... why this breakpoint didn't trigger? Ah, fuck. Because... Okay, I put it in the wrong place. It was here, actually. So we need... yeah. So as I was thinking, you know, the... So he pushed the event, so he went through this, he did schedule new run. He scheduled your new run with this repo rate, which is 10, okay. So up to now, everything is fine. Then, but there is something that didn't work in the push. Ah, because get time manager is not yet ready. Ah, yes. So I need to do the same. So I think I need to do the check. Okay, I understand. Yeah. I can send you the file. Yeah, maybe if you can connect to our Discord, we can chat a bit. At the moment, what I'm looking for, we have a chat window, which is basically a text box, and we want the text box to accept auto completion. So we want to be able to automatically complete words like names of players or names of commands, right? Automatically. And this is something that you can do completely outside the PlaneShift project. So you can just do it in a separate environment, and then when it works, we can integrate it. But anyway, if you scroll down, you will find our Discord below, and maybe you can join the Discord and we can discuss there. I think it would be easier. But the first thing you need to do, you really need to start to learn Unreal Engine if you don't know it yet. And again, it's a great engine, so I think it will only be useful to you. You can do whatever you want with that. So let me change this check. Right? I don't want this check to be here, actually. I want this check to be here. The problem is, fuck. No. Okay. So it's a bit more complex than that, but we can solve it in the sense that I cannot really do it here. Because here the world is not loaded yet. And if the world is not loaded, basically nothing is gonna work. What I can do is to do it later on, when we are... Where is it? In begin play? Where is it? No, in game state. Yeah, exactly. Here. So here we are basically starting all the ticks, and we are starting the event manager, and we are starting everything. So I think at the end of this, we can start our report manager. I think if we do it here, we should be fine. Yeah. Okay, let's try again. You also have a Unreal Engine? Okay. Level design. I also have other stuff. I mean, this is just an example, okay? It's something that we need, shortly. Another problem that I need to solve, which is just a matter of a bit of time and test, is the fact that at the moment our windows somehow are letting the mouse clicks go also through the UI, and I want to block them somehow, but I don't know. I have a lot of small stuff like this. For example, we want to redesign the credits window, and maybe so there would be more of a UI work. So trying to understand how to make it, how to build it, and then I want to develop some mini games for the game, and I had a bit of I had some example of mini games, but I was not very happy about them. So maybe also that one could be something that you could do, or if you want to do. So thinking about small mini games that require some ability, like moving the mouse or catching stuff, and then putting them into the game for crafting. But I can do the integration later on. So I think now we are in begin play, right? So in theory, this thing should not fail anymore. In theory. But we can check. It will go off in about 10 seconds. In theory. It didn't. Why it didn't? I don't understand why. Why it didn't trigger? Wow, it triggered now? Okay, that's not 10 seconds, but okay, fine. I mean, we don't care anyway at the beginning. It can also trigger later. I mean, it's... Oh, by the way, those two lines I think we can remove. Ah, yes. Okay, sorry. I think we have few problems, but nothing too major. Okay, so this thing is really useless. Okay, so I will remove it. This conversion to a time I think is okay. Get current time in readable format. I don't know exactly why we need it, but anyway, it was there. Now the problem is that two values, which are the economy manager values, we don't have. Okay, so these two, if we try to put something here at the moment, because we don't have the economy manager, are failing, right? So I think what we can do, we can put like a fake value, and and we can go with that for now. Okay, but then we need to port the economy manager. I think will be the next one that I'm gonna port. Probably tomorrow. I just don't understand why the timer took so much. I mean, it took way more than 10 seconds. I mean, it felt like 30 or 40 seconds. It could be that the server is so busy at the beginning that you cannot really do it in time. I don't know. Because here is basically loading, you know, the basic stuff like levels and... Okay, now it felt more like 10 seconds. Okay, so we go through this, we go through this, we go through this, through this, through this. Nice, 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 nice. Nice, nice, nice. And then we schedule the next run, right? Which will be in another 10 seconds. Okay. So now we should be writing our file, I think. And then and it will do it again and again and again and again and again, right? Every 10 seconds. So I think we should be writing our file. Now let me see where that file actually went. There it is. Report.xml. Okay. So that is what is reporting. Is reporting the time. Is reporting the current time. This number, I don't know what is it. Is reporting 0 client and 0000 for everything else, and then total money is the one that is a bit fake. Okay, but basically he's kind of operational, okay, and he can print out and get the values. Now we have one problem, that our server status is not populated for real by the rest of the engine. And this is what we need to do. Exactly. And it is an example, right? It is an example. When we are selling something, is putting sold items on value. So now we can uncomment this code and we can actually put the values in. Right? So in this case, for us will be just report manager sold items, right? So it will be something as simple as that. Now we need to find everywhere in the code where server status is called. I think I can just do something different. Wait, I can do this. I can search for server status ... I mean, whatever. And you see also this one is commented for now. So we can do the same, report manager. Also this one. Hopefully I didn't skip any, but hopefully not. You see, birth count and all of that. Now, we will have to check if this is actually correct, but And I can do the same check on the other side, but... So I could check in the old code. Oh, by the way, if you're new to the stream, whenever you see kind of a white background like this, is the old game, okay? And with the old engine. And whenever you see a background like this one, which is black, is the new game. Okay, so when you see me swapping between old and new, is because I'm trying to understand how the old was working and try to bring it back in the new version. So you know what we can do? I think we can do just a very simple thing. We can do a find in files and we can search for server status ... which is anyway, and we can search it on the whole old code base. I think we can. I think we can search it in the old code base, and just to be sure that we are intercepting. Now, I think we can go for CPP and H. Yes, I think we can go for star.cpp and star.h and find all and see what we get. I think there are not too many places anyways, like 5 or 6 places, but I want to be sure that wherever those places are, I'm catching them properly and they are represented in the new code. Okay, so we have, okay, the initialize is fine. Then we have one inside merchant, handle merchant cell. It is exactly the one we just modified. So we just did it a few seconds ago. I can double check, but anyway, there are two values here just before the economy manager cell event. Right? Yes, this too. So this one we got. Then there is another one. Okay, this is the stuff inside server status, so we don't care because this one we already ported it, is the trigger function. So that one we don't care. All this as well. And then there are only 3 places inside spawn manager. One is under remove NPC. Okay. Spawn manager respawn. Well, actually we have one inside respawn. Yes. No. Yes, this one, bird count. Then we have one inside remove NPC. Yes, that we did. And then the last one is this one, which is in handle death event. Okay. And this one also I did. Yeah, so we catch them all. So there are not a lot of places, right, where this is happening. Okay, so let's say we are generating the reports. We are generating the report. Now, which is cool. And I think that this thing will populate, right? Will populate based on the player count. Now, let's do one step more, okay? Let's do one step more, which is to print out also the character information, which for now I said that we will postpone, but I think we arrived to a good point, so we can do it. I think we can do it. Yes, which is which is this one. Now, I don't know exactly why we need this, but we will find a way. We will find a reason for it. Okay, but it's there, so I think for me now it's easy to integrate because it's already integrated now. So if I log in, I think I will print this out because the report client, we have it. Yeah. Okay, let's try. So I'm going to start the server, and then I'm going to log in. Now it's a pity that RRD tool, I cannot launch it on Windows, because it means that I cannot really simulate, right? What should I do it Sigwin? But I don't know, it was a different version. I think I need to fix my Linux machine so that I can install it there. I think we can remove these breakpoints now because we know that the things is working, so we don't really need it. The question will be, should we directly call the RRD tool from here, or because so what was happening in the old client, in the old server, was nice picture, by the way. Huh? What was happening in the old client server, was that the server was generating XML files. This report.xml, which was containing the statistic information, and then there was a job running on the machine in the cron tab, right? Do I have a gear symbol? No, I will use this. And then there was a job in the cron tab of the machine, which was actually a Perl script, which was taking this file and yeah, I think we can just do this. I think it makes sense. Taking this file and sending it regularly. So this was running, I don't know how much, but let's say that it was every 10 seconds or so. And it was actually sending it to the RRD tool, right? And then the RRD tool was actually generating images, right? So it was generating different files which were images, which then we took for our website, right? And so we would publish this to our website. So this is how it was working, right? Now the question that I was asking is, instead of doing this and then this, can we just have the server call the RRD tool? We can write a file and then we can call this thing. And it maybe it's not really the best to have, you know, the server launch another program because it's already busy doing his stuff. So maybe it's cleaner this way, right? Probably it's cleaner this way. Probably. If I can make this picture not too bad to look at, maybe I can even load it in our wiki page as an explanation of what was going on, but no, maybe it's simple enough. I can remember it. Okay, so now the server is running. Our report file is getting written every few seconds. So this thing should be, you know, continuously updated. Yeah, you see the number 25. The number 25 is how many times this file has been changed. So it's kind of an incremental, unique number, right? And so now we can just launch our client, connect to it. And by the way, this change, I think I can even load it in production because is compatible with the current client. So it should be no problem. No problemo. I'm using what? I'm using the dummy database. Think so. I think I'm using the dummy one. So if I log in with Melare. Now I don't know what happens if he's in this position. Let's try. So now he's in the loading screen, in the selection screen, right? And I want to see what happens in the log. Okay, things are getting fucked up quite a bit. Client count. Why client count is so weird? I think because we were using some weird total players. Yes. I don't know why sometimes we need to make our life harder, really. Why? Why we need to make our life harder? By using unsigned int for a freaking number of players and then having to, you know, why? I don't know. By the way, also the money can be negative. If someone is selling unsigned is not right because it may be negative. If someone is selling a lot of stuff, money in and money out, and sold items. Fuck this unsigned ints, really. Everything is unsigned. I don't want it unsigned. I want it as a normal int. I don't want it unsigned. If it's negative, I want to see that it's negative. I don't want to get like a weird unreadable number just because we decided that was cooler to have it unsigned. You know? I want to read it if it's negative. Yeah, and don't tell me that with the unsigned you can get more numbers, okay? Because anyways it will be too big. It will be too big for that. You know, I have one hard disk that I removed from the other PC. And I think I can use this one on the Linux machine. I just don't know if this hard disk is really good enough. Because it's a bit old, it was on that machine. I'm checking if there is a date on it. No, there is no date. It just says made in Thailand. Ah, yes, there is. 6th of June 2013. So it's 7 years old. But it's a 750 giga SATA. 750 giga SATA drive. Still an HDD. So it's not a solid state. But I think it may do this job if I can put it on the other machine. I will have to stop this machine sooner or later. There is people playing at the moment. Ah, did I do? Okay. There is people playing, but I think I will need that machine sooner or later because I want to do the swap. In theory, if I could reinstall a clean Ubuntu on this drive, I think that would be the best. The problem is that in the current Linux server there is really a lot of stuff. So, doing the migration will take a bit of my time. That's the problem. Okay, I want to see what happens again if I'm in this status. Okay, so the player is connected, but the character actually is not in the game yet. So my player controller does not have a pawn at the moment. So the number should be, okay, the number is 1 anyway. Sorry, the client count is 1, yes. Okay, it's fine. But as you can see, there is no player. Right? As soon as I connect, and I'm actually going in game, it'll be interesting when the, you see, we start to get some information. Yes, okay, I think it's working fine. The name is the wrong name. The name is not my name, but yes, it seems to be working fine apart from the name that I can fix. Super Meat Boy. I think here we have the name, which is the wrong thing. Guild name. There should be a player name, and it is. So this one should be get character full name. Otherwise, you are getting the Unreal Engine name, which is not what we need. But, you know, seems to be working fine. Which is nice. So in this way, we can also detect how many players we have in each area, right? Which I think is fine. I think I can try to put it on the real server, because anyway, I didn't do any changes to any critical class, right? I don't think I did. Wait. I don't think I did any change that can be. What the fuck? Hello? Why is saying 0 files? What is going on? What? How can it be 0 files, man? Come on. SVN commit. What do you mean? Are you stupid? I changed this file. Look. I changed this file. I added these 2 files. I added this one. They are all flagged. How can you say 0? Here you say something. But I touched the PS character though. Fuck. Just because I changed these 2 things. I hope it doesn't invalidate the class. In theory, should not. Well, if it does, we will just roll back, you know, to a previous version. But I don't understand why my PS Unreal is not able to commit. Look. Look. 0. Does it mean 0? Let me do a cleanup, maybe. Oh my god. It looks like it's considering this branch separate from this branch for whatever reason. What are these 2 crazy files? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I think these were generated. Maybe those 2 crazy files are the ones that are messing up. You know? You see these files with insane names? I think were my reports, by the way. Oh yes, they were those 2 files. Those 2 files with insane names were blocking the SVN reading of the thing. Wow. I don't know, I did a bit too many changes actually, but risky. Risky business. I could do only the server side, ignoring all the other stuff. Because I think I didn't check in anything after the... yeah. I didn't check in anything yet, so I could check in only the source files and try to run it on the server. Yeah, I think we're gonna do it. Okay, let's do it. So what we're gonna do, we are going to check in only the server side, and then I think we are gonna add manually. We're going to add manually this piece, okay, to the server configuration. And so I will not check in for now this guy or this guy, right? I will not check in any of that. I will not check in any of the new spells. And I will not check in the changes to the chat. Anything of this. Now, I can even avoid checking in PS character because I think anyway this change was just a stupid change of logs. But everything else, I think we will check in. Yeah. Just double checking that all the changes are the ones that I want. But I think I do. Yes. 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 These are all the changes that we did today. Yes. Yes, yes. And the last one. Yes. Okay. So we will say added report manager to create a report.xml file with statistics. Okay. I mean, it's the beginning of it. I mean, it's not a big deal for now, but it's a base for. Okay. We will check in this. And now we will go here. We will SVN update directly on PS Unreal because anyway, I think I can do it under source if I want to be a bit more careful. Because everything is under source anyway. Yeah, let's do the update under source. Maybe it's a bit more safe. Okay, so we update, and now that we updated, we rebuild. So we rebuild it, and then I will have to shut down the server for a bit. I mean, for like 2 minutes, whatever it needs to restart. And then I need to put in the configuration, I need to put in the configuration no. I need to put in the configuration this part, okay? In the default server config. So it's recompiling now. Let me just check one thing. Wow, it's compiling a lot. I think it's compiling a lot because we changed PS Unreal.h. So yeah, it's taking a bit of time. I think I can stop the server though, because now we are, you know, running against. But it's doing it. It's doing it. It's doing it. So as soon as this completes, we're gonna put it. We're gonna put the information in the ini file. And then we're going to stop the server, launch it. And so finally, I will have a way to know who is online. And if I want to stop the server, I know how many players there are and in which locations they are. And so I can decide to stop or not stop based on that. Which is exactly what I needed, you know? So I did it because I needed this. Yes, I can connect with the client in the game and check who's there with a /who, but I'm not always in the position to do it. Maybe I'm doing something else and launching the client, connecting, whatever. Takes quite some time. Compilation is a bit slow because the server is running, that's why. Guys, you are very silent. Don't make me feel alone, please. You are too silent. Do-do-do-do-do. Snip saved. Linking done. Okay, it's done. So now I need to bring it down. So whoever is connected. Oh, it crashed, by the way. Perfect. Perfect timing. So we will stop it fully. And busy fixing character waiting issue. Yeah, just one suggestion, Zoe. I think you need to fix the rigging first, because if you fix the weight and then we discover for whatever reason that we need to re-rig, then you will have to redo it. I usually write stupid stuff when... Yeah. No, but it's okay, Hula. You can type stupid stuff. You're enjoying your education? Seeing how it's done by professional programmer? Professional, I don't know. Programmer, yes. Okay, now the server is restarting. Ah, fuck, I didn't put in the... Right. I didn't put the config, right? So we need to add it... Server... Ah, just a second, because this one has the password in. So I need to add it default server config, which by the way is a temporary password. Is not the same one as the one that we have in production for real, but still, you know. So I will do this, and I will copy this thing here, and okay, so now we have it. Interesting, I did clear and a piece remained, but okay. Okay, 1 second. So let me do a screen -r. I'm already in screen. Okay, I'm already in screen. So we will just launch it again. So now we should have everything needed. The fixes you are doing will not be affected by that. Okay. Now, because you know, one of the major issue that we have are the legs and the shoulder of the character. That for some reason they are not sticking properly to the rig. So I think that unfortunately what we need to do, at least for my understanding, is to detach the model from the rig and from the base position of the mesh reattach it with the shoulders in the proper position. So with the shoulders up and the legs properly placed, you know. But my fear, I'm like 70% on this, is that when you will fix that, your weight will go away. Unless you can, maybe you can copy paste weight from previous character in Blender, like we were doing in 3ds Max. I mean, you can copy UV weight between, you know, old and new. That's possible. But I think the first thing to fix is the position of the legs. Because you can see clearly when you load up a dwarf that the legs are correct and at the beginning, and then 1 millisecond after they just spring like a spring, like a metal spring. They spring into another position, like contracting, right? Like if they're springing up, and that lasts like a millisecond. So it's between the base pose of the character and the weighted pose with that rig. So that makes me think, so it's like if he's immediately shrinking as soon as he gets the weight from the skeleton. So that makes me think that the original rig was done in a wrong position. Hey, I think you need to redo all the weighting because you need to detach the character and reattach it. I don't know. I don't know how to do. I mean, the only way I would think I could do it is to detach it. But if you can do it without detaching, that would be nice as well.
Everything will be fine. Don't worry.
Maybe. Okay, he's loading a bunch of stuff. Now he's repopulating items. Wow, Warcraft 3 Frozen Throne. So basically, I don't know if you have seen it in game, but it's very evident when it happens. You see the character. I mean, it's hard for me to explain it well, but what the fuck is this? Why? Can't even. But you basically see the character, right? Let me see that. This is the head, it is the body, the hands, the body, and you see the character with the legs positioned in a certain way. Then after a millisecond, that is probably when the character gets weighted on the skeleton. You see the legs bending. Okay, so you see the legs bending and the feet going up. I don't know how to explain it. Like if it's contracted, like if the muscles were contracted for a second. And so I think that the base pose, I think that the pose that we have in the rig is not correct. The one that is working well is the female dwarf, because the female dwarf seems to have already the legs. So I think the only thing that you need to check is when you are in Blender, right? And there is the side view. There is the side view. The lady looks like this. Okay? The man, the dwarf man looks like this. You know, his legs are bent. And so if you already have this bending going on in Blender, obviously they would be also in the game. So you need to undo this, which to me means to detach this mesh from the rig and take the mesh again with a straight leg and reattach it to the rig. Because I think what happened, I don't know because I don't have a crystal ball, but I think that what happened the first time is that the character was in the right position, right? So I think this is what you did, right? Or anyway, whoever did it. I think that what happened is the following. The character was correct, imported as a mesh, right? Then we put on top of him the rig, right? So that is the rig. Maybe I can make it. So there is the rig. The rig was too long, obviously, because this was a dwarf, right? And so you adapted the skeleton to the mesh, right? Moving the skeleton up. My fear, which is like a 70% fear, is that the model was already, at least part of it, was already weighted on the rig. Maybe not all of it, probably the top of the torso no, but the legs probably were. And so when you realized, or I realized, I don't remember, that the legs were not correct because the character was flying, we just took the base of the skeleton and we moved it up, right? Without attaching the mesh. And so what this caused, obviously it caused the legs to become bent. It's not bent in Blender. If it's not bent in Blender, then screw this. Because I was thinking they were bent. Are you 100% sure they're not bent in Blender? Because look at the lady, and look at the man, right? And the lady legs are perfect in Unreal. The man legs are bent. I don't know. I didn't investigate too much because I have so much other stuff to do. But I think one day I will, if we cannot solve it. They are not bent. And the other problem are the shoulders. So if you look at the character from the side in Unreal, it looks like this. Right? I mean, like this. So we don't want the characters to be like this. We want the characters to be like this, or even better, like this. Right? Which is like the proud fantasy pose, where you see sometimes that they exaggerate on that. And you see characters which have like their spine that is like a C on the other side, and you're like, how the hell they can do this, right? But no. But yeah, the ALS, I don't know, because is an ALS thing. I don't know. Hello, Marcelo. Have I finished the stats? Yeah, we are pretty close. Then I got a bit distracted, but yes, we are pretty close. We have a report written on the server. Now I started the client. I started the server. I brought it actually in production, and I want to see now if our report is getting written or not. Ouch. It seems that we are writing garbage for whatever reason. Which is not very nice. I think the name of the file is fucked up. Yes. The name of the file is fucked up. As you can see, the file is properly written, but the name of the file is completely fucked up. Instead of being report.xml, why the name of the file is fucked up? By the way, it was kind of fucked up on my machine as well. But then I saw the right one and I said, maybe it's okay. Why the name of the file is fucked up? Well, he doesn't like this. I don't know, boys. I mean, he needs a teacher pointer, okay? He needs a teacher pointer. So what? Teacher pointer. Come on. I don't know. How should I do it? I took a string and I... Yeah, exactly. The same way I did it. I don't know. It is the same way. Why? Why doesn't like it? I mean, the report file. Let me just double check, but the report file is nothing else than this thing, which is read from the config file and is just an F string. And yeah, report file is just this. It's just this. So why doesn't like it? Why it doesn't like it? I mean, more simpler than this. I don't know what to do. This guy seems to have my same problem. I hope I can click on it. Yes. No. No, there was a different answer. You see file paths working and then becoming corrupted. I don't know. Why the file name is fucked up? By the way, it was fucked up also in my machine. Do we need to initialize it to something? Well, I can initialize it to something. Because actually at the moment... but I cannot initialize it to something because it's actually read by... I don't know. So the report is there, but it's inside the file that has a weird name. A very weird name. The file is named like this. But I can open it. I mean, I can print it. But this is the name of the file. She's kind of crazy. It looks like invalid memory, so it looks like when he arrives here, report manager report file is actually not valid. But you see, here it shows like report XML. Do you think it's this conversion? Because it's not a pointer? Probably. I mean, I can... But it will be the same. If I put it here in parentheses with the reference, will be exactly the same. It will create anyway an F string, and then from the F string, it will dereference it like this. So I think it makes zero difference. I don't understand how How can this become corrupted? Let me try to remove it, and because the second time on my machine, can I even delete it? No. I cannot. Oh my god. I cannot. Holy shit, I don't know what is going on. Basically, it's fucking up the UI. I cannot. I don't know, that file is crazy. That's a crazy file. That's a crazy file. I mean, here on my machine it looked okay, even if the first two times, you know, was anyway getting a kind of a weird value. So I think the question is, can I give a default value to a config in case there is, because, you know, something weird that Unreal Engine is doing sometimes is that it's generating, when as soon as it starts up, you know, it's generating basically one of a kind of all the classes, right? And I don't know if it's trying to generate this one as well, and then it's trying to initialize it, or something is going on. But in theory, the only way it can go through that code is when we do you think that you so how do I do, wait, how do I do how do I have a default value on that? Can I just say equal to something? Or... I don't know if there is anything that I do wrong. Hello, Doomtrax, welcome. I'm having a great Sunday, yes, because when there are, you know, weird bugs, we are always having fun. Hello, Gili, or Hili, or Yii. I don't know. Tell me how to pronounce it. So basically, look at what we have. We have a file. We managed to create a file that looks like this. No, actually the R5 is still part of the file name. So we managed to write a file that looks like this. I don't know why. I don't know why. Okay, you know what? We will try to do something different. We will try to... The Plane Shift Alpha is playable. Yes, it's playable. It's actually running right now. And I also made a video about it with some of the news you can find on YouTube. It's playable if you are a Patreon or if you are a veteran player, meaning that you are a player of the previous game with at least 200 hours of gameplay. And one of the reasons that we are restricting it a bit is because, you know, at the moment we are still in a very unstable situation, so I need to have a relatively low number of people on the survey. And also because we like people sponsoring us. But so if you scroll down, there is the Patreon link, the YouTube link, and you can find the videos and stuff. So one of the issue is, if I cannot reproduce the bug on my machine, I think it's very hard for me to do anything, because I mean, the first time we got the file corrupted, actually, right? If you remember right, we had two files that were written and they were super corrupted with two weird names. But then we got our report.xml the third time, right? Now, yeah, but you see that is obviously wrong memory. You see, report XML, blah, 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 whatever, and the other one is blah, 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 blah. So it's really not liking the. It's really not liking to read this name from. It looks perfect here, but. It looks good here. But it doesn't look okay. Is it reading the... So let's assume that we have an empty config file. Okay, let me try with an empty config file and see if on my machine we get like garbage memory, right? I think we will. So if this report file is not specified, right? Then, and I start this. So assuming that it's not reading the config file. So I want to see, because now we have no value, right? So the report file will be empty. So I don't know exactly what will happen, right? So if you're just generating, but no, we are not generating invalid memory. We're just not generating any file, I guess, because the location of the file becomes the actual directory name. So it becomes like the father of this one. So it becomes my C drive. And I think at that point it cannot really write anything here. So yeah, it's not writing anything in that case. So I think he's reading the file, but he's reading the name, but he's not using it properly. In fact, in Linux, you see the report XML? It's actually there, but it's actually there. So he read the file, but I think this function is fucked. I think this save string to file is fucked. I think this function is not working well because it's not possible. Create file writer, file name. Is anyone using this? This file helper string to file. Supports all combination of ANSI Unicode files and platforms. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not that convinced that you are supporting everything because it's not working. Encoding options as the default is auto detect. We can see which kind of encoding options we have. We have auto detect, force ANSI, force Unicode, force UTF-8. I don't know. I mean, we will not put any Unicode or UTF-8 characters, I guess, inside a file. Unless we have some names. No, but all the names of the... You know, I think that ANSI is okay anyway. What other option we have? We have a file manager. And then we have the write flags. I don't know. I think no one is using this function. My feeling is that no one is using this function. And sometimes it's just fucking up with our memory. It's a pity because this function, there was one result which was having corrupted file name in it on Google, at least in the preview, but then when I went inside, it was no more like that. I can write it another way, but I think it was nice to use, you know, a standard. We can try to force it to ANSI and see if it makes any difference. Because maybe he's trying to write down in fancy way. And we can try like this and see what happens. Because we cannot really stay with this kind of files, boys. I mean, it's kind of weird to stay with those files, right? Server status. Look, I cannot even type sometimes because... Ah, I can do it. I can do it. Let me try to... change it. What is it? 103. I don't know, it's a weird bug anyway. It's a very weird bug. Very weird bug. Very weird bug. And the funny thing that it happened also on my Windows somehow. The first time. The second time no, but the first time yes. So we had some weird files and then they went away. I can try to launch it not in debug mode. And see if that is messing up with him. Otherwise we will just write the file in a normal way, but I think it was nice to use the Unreal Engine function, so it's kind of working, you know, seamlessly across all the platforms, and I don't know, it just seems like a good idea, but if it doesn't work, we will just do it differently. Okay, now it's running. Hey, it seems to be clean now, but report XML, at least here on Windows is fine. At least on Windows is fine, but on Linux seems to go a bit crazy. Can we delete those two files? I don't know even how to call this thing. Look at this thing, boys. Oh my god. How do I remove a file that I cannot name? How do I remove a file that I cannot properly name? Can I say delete the 20th file? I think if I can find at least one character that I can query, right? Probably I cannot. Wow. Maybe the dash? No. I think we are fucked, boys. We are completely fucked. MV. But I cannot name it. And if I type star after I type this thing, it's GG. Okay, let me try now that I forced ANSI. By the way, the server crashed. I created an impossible file. Linux how to delete file with corrupted name. The best. I was able to create and delete a file with a failed name. Create the offending file. Verify the file. Remove the offending file. Dollar and then all the characters. Yeah, but I need to know which are those characters. That's the problem. Painful. Yeah, in theory. Typing this. Wait. RM. This. No. It doesn't. By the way, I think in a few seconds we will have another one anyway, because the server is restarting and you will start to generate more of those nice files. I could delete everything in this directory, but I don't think it's a good idea because he has a lot of stuff. In theory, I could move all these files and all the other files. I could move all the other files to another directory and then do a rm star, which will not affect the directories but only the files, and so maybe that one will go away, right? Will be interesting to know what are these characters though. There's no way. It's so GG. It's so much GG, you have no idea. Anyway, I mean, we will leave that file. Let me see if now the server with the ASCII, I forced them to write in ASCII, and we will see if you know, probably the only way will be to have a file manager and visually from the file manager select the file and delete it. One possibility is to find out the inode number of the file, which you can do it by running ls-i. Nice. It is very, very nice. We have the inode number. This is beautiful. And then how can I delete by inode number? Then use find to select only the file with a specific inode and delete it. Wow. Should we do it? I think it's a bit risky, but are we getting a new file or is continuously overriding that one? I mean, it's still loading. Oh my god. Still loading, boys. It's still loading. So at the moment it didn't... I mean, we can try. It's a bit risky because actually we are doing an RM star filtering by that. And it may delete everything else. So... This guy is saying that the -I is asking you for every file. Well, if he's asking me for every file, I think we are good. No? If I touch whatever, and then I do rm -I, is it asking me for any file for real? Yes. He's asking me, so I can say no to everyone except that one I can say yes. Right? Ah, it's the first one. And then I stop everything else. Okay, but it seems that our guy created a new one. GG. So we continuously create corrupted file names. Okay, I think that is the end of today. Yeah, it's continuously creating corrupted file names because this one is created now. And you see, it's called report XML and then garbage after that. So it's like if the string that we are passing on is not something that he likes. Okay, guys, it's a bit late though because tomorrow unfortunately is Monday. So, but anyway, I think I'm gonna go. We did anyway the statistics. We just need to fix this little problem on the file, but I hope we can fix it. And if you are new to the stream, please click on follow on Twitch and please subscribe on YouTube, check our videos, and also if you want to support more our game, check our Patreon site, which is Planeshift at Patreon, so patreon.com/Planeshift, and you can see videos that we posted, access the alpha, and get your Discord tag and get access to the Discord supporter channel. Right? Did I just accidentally copy any garbage character and then copy and paste in the config settings? That's a very good point. I can check. I can check if I did. But I mean, it was a straight copy, but the problem is that also on Windows, the first 2 runs, it created garbage stuff, you know? But I mean, it doesn't look like. I mean, if I go with VI and I check the file, it seems to be no. There is no garbage stuff. It's kind of good. No idea. I will check it. I will find a solution. Don't worry. If not, we will just use another system. Okay, we will just use another system for writing the file. And you know what we can do also? We can do to force it. Maybe we can do this last test just for fun. We can force it, you know, to be the one that we want. Right? So we can do, let me do this. Now let me do it in, let me do it in, let me do it here directly. So PS Unreal server status CPP. I mean, we can just do this. I mean, I don't know if the Windows style of carriage return is annoying him. There could be one reason maybe, but you know what we can do? We can do this. Which is similar to what we had in the in the example, because actually the example was doing this, and I think we can do this. And so basically this one will not be used, right? I can do it like this. So basically I'm not reading it anymore from the config. I'm just forcing the value to be report XML, which by the way is okay. I mean, is the only file that we have there, and is perfectly fine to have it named. I'm sorry, someone is crafting. Boom, he was crafting. I will do this last test and then I will leave the server up, okay? Yeah, but to me it looks like the file helper is not working properly. I know it sounds weird, but I mean, it's one line of code, you know? So it's not that my code is doing anything special, it's just asking Unreal to write a file. So meanwhile it's compiling. I can try to delete it, to delete that file, so at least we don't have... You see how many it's creating? Every time it's creating a new one. Every time he's creating a new one with weird names. I'm using the technique of that he asks me every file I want to delete. Oh shit. What did I delete? Ah, because there are two. Oh my god. I deleted one. I deleted... I don't know. Did I delete something I should not have deleted? No, it looks the same. But there is still one. There is still one weird file there. Okay, it was deleted now. Okay, so now we don't have any more weird files. Oops. And it recompiled, so we can restart it. So now basically as... I mean, the code is just report.xml, okay? So it's not doing anything fancy, it's not reading it from a config file. Sorry, I did build, I should have done this. Last test, last test, and I really need to go. I really need to go. Meanwhile, it's starting. Is there any bugs I need to remove? Oh, yes. So you're like, you check this too? Perfect, thank you. Yes, the more of those ones we can close out is great. There are still a lot of them, I think, but fixed pending release. Yes, there are still 30 of them. Which should be all fixed in theory. But no rush, I mean, you can do them when you can. Many are commented, so like that they are still there. Okay. But I see the last edit are on the 18th, so I think they were before, you know, before the release. Because if the last comment is 18 or 19, I think they were before the release, no? Or at the release, I don't know. Okay, let's see if now it should pop up soon after the update. So those ones, I think you should tell me which one they are, but I can check them. But you know, like going inside, I can check in case, and I can move them back to the other status, like open or something. Like 21. Casting analyze the moment with target selected. Sometimes, okay. Like this one you have, okay, like this one, then I want to change it back, you know, to new. So that I know there is still something I need to fix. Otherwise, I will not find it. Ah! Now report XML seems to be fine. Okay. That's interesting. So it means that what he didn't like. He didn't like the fact. He didn't like this. I mean, he didn't like the fact that I put it in a variable and then I passed this variable by dereferencing it. But you know what? At the moment, I really don't care. I mean, I have way bigger problems than this. So if this is what he likes, this is what we're gonna do. Okay? I don't care at all about having this read from a config file. So it's perfectly fine. If he likes it this way, we're gonna give it this way. Yes, now seems to be fine. There is already one guy connected. Nice. Do you think it worked with 2 people connected? But we are getting our statistics now, huh? We are getting our statistics. So we're not getting a lot, but we're getting some. So like if I try to sell something, in theory the value of the item sold and the value of the item, you know, should change. Now as soon as we client count 1, number 9. So yeah, I think it's working. I don't know why I didn't like the setting of the variable. That's so weird. Oh, I can connect myself. It's okay. But we are getting some statistics at least. You know what I think? I think that for some reason, if you pass it like I did, that variable is getting descoped as soon as it goes out of here. and I think he messed up something with the name. I don't know. I have no idea. Okay, you are there. Let me see if our log now is printing something more. Yes, it's printing the two players. Now, will be nice if I can move to another place. I can go to... Oh. Trasok? Ah, fuck, I don't have the maps. I don't have the maps because my client is a stripped one. But anyway, even if I don't have the maps, my locations will count as... Yes, you see, my location changed to Akka Central. So yeah, so the sectors, so reporting on sector is working okay. And reporting on sector is working okay. Now let me try I mean selling something. Even if I'm a game master, I don't know if... Can we have some light in this place? Let me try to sell something. I don't know what I want to sell. Well, maybe I can buy something, but... I can sell a rock pick, easy. Okay, I sold it. So, in theory... yes, sold items 1. You see, sold items 1, sold value 120. So it's actually working. Now this total money is fucked up because we don't have the economy manager ported. But I think I will port it next. Mob deaths, mob dirt. So let me try to kill someone. Or let me try to buy again one rock pick. No, wait. Did I buy it or did I sell it? I bought it now. And let me try to kill someone. I need a creature though. I mean, I cannot kill an NPC. I mean, meaning someone that cannot be killed, because I don't think they will count. I don't think that will count, boys. But this rat... Spichik. Why didn't do the death animation? It's not scripted for it, huh? But anyway, in theory he died. In theory he died. He didn't do the death animation. No, but mobs that... This way doesn't work. Mobs that... I think because I did it with a command. I mean, I think because I did it... with the game master command and not with the real, and not killing him for real. Yeah, now why is not dying? I need to check that, huh? It's not dying. Yes, but now you see, bird one, that one, yeah. But anyway, it's working. It's working as expected. So we are getting some stats. Now the next step will be to put them into graphics, right? But I think that for that I need So to follow this, I think I need to remake my Linux machine. I don't know, it's a bit painful, but I will see. Okay, boys, it was a good day anyway. We did good stuff, which is what we wanted, and so I will say bye bye. See you soon, boys.